In the silent vaults of the Akashic records, where the whispers of past, present, and future intertwine, lies a story more profound than most dare to imagine, the story of a soul that refused to descend into the physical realm. As the readings of CAYCE reveal, this is not merely a tale of hesitation, but a divine struggle for harmony, balance, and higher purpose. Before the first breath, the soul's journey was already mapped out, yet unseen forces, karmic debts, and spiritual tensions caused it to pause, to question its sacred mission. What secrets do these hidden records hold about the soul's reluctance? And what profound lessons are encoded in this cosmic hesitation? The answers lie within the depths of the soul's timeless voyage, a journey of awakening, reconciliation, and ultimately, union with the divine Christ consciousness. In the silent depths of the Akashic records, where the echoes of eternity resonate with the silent whispers of the soul, there lies a sacred prelude, an unfolding chapter that precedes even the first breath of physical life. It is here, within these celestial vaults of divine memory, that the soul's initial decision to incarnate is revealed, a choice made in the eternal presence, woven into the very fabric of cosmic purpose. As the readings of CAYCE unveil, this moment of inception is not random nor purely impulsive. Rather, it is a deliberate act of divine sovereignty, a conscious alignment with higher lessons and spiritual evolution. The soul, before it steps into the realm of form, stands at a crossroads within the vast fields of the Akashic records. Here, in this sacred space where time dissolves into divine eternity, the soul surveys the tapestry of its past lives, lessons learned, and karmic debts yet to be balanced. But more than that, the soul also perceives the divine blueprint of its future, the purpose it is called to fulfill, and the spiritual qualities it seeks to cultivate in this incarnation. It is a moment of sacred contemplation, a divine council where the soul, in union with higher spiritual guides, deliberates upon its next journey. Within this pre-birth stage, the soul is driven by a profound yearning for growth, for reconnection with the Christ consciousness that lies beyond the veil of material existence. The records reveal that the soul's purpose is not arbitrary, but rooted in a divine plan, an intricate dance of karma and free will designed to bring about spiritual awakening. The soul recognizes that the physical plane is a crucible of transformation, a realm where duality manifests and where the soul's true nature can be revealed and refined. Yet this sacred decision is seldom made without inner tensions. The records also disclose that the soul, in its divine wisdom, is often faced with questions of balance. What lessons must be learned? What karmic debts must be addressed? The soul's choice to incarnate is thus intertwined with the acknowledgement of these spiritual challenges. It is a conscious acceptance of the necessity to confront limitations, fears, and unresolved karma that have accumulated through countless lifetimes. These tensions serve as catalysts for deeper growth, pushing the soul toward a greater realization of its divine potential. In the divine deliberations, the soul seeks to understand the specific lessons it wishes to attain, a chance to master qualities such as compassion, patience, humility, or wisdom. These lessons are not imposed from without, but are chosen, aligned with the soul's evolution. The records show that the soul often sets intentions, aspirations to embody a higher consciousness, to awaken the divine within, and to serve a purpose that extends beyond personal growth into the collective awakening of humanity. The prelude also reveals that the soul is aware of the particular circumstances of its upcoming incarnation, the family environment, cultural influences, and life experiences that will serve as the backdrop for its spiritual journey. These external factors are seen as divine tools, designed to challenge and refine the soul's character. The soul, in its infinite wisdom, understands that adversity is often the greatest teacher, and that through struggle and surrender it will discover its true strength. Furthermore, the records emphasize that this initial choice to incarnate is an act of divine love, a sacred offering to the divine plan. The soul recognizes that it is participating in a sacred divine symphony, where each note and pause contributes to the harmony of the whole. In this pre-birth state, the soul aligns itself with the divine will, trusting that the challenges it will face are purposeful steps toward spiritual integration and union with the Christ consciousness. As the soul stands on the threshold of physical existence, it is imbued with a quiet assurance, The knowledge that this incarnation is an opportunity for profound growth and service, this understanding is encoded in the very fabric of the soul's being, whispering through the silent corridors of the Akashic records, "You are here for higher purpose." The soul's journey is a sacred pilgrimage toward enlightenment, where each life is a chapter of divine education, designed to prepare it for the ultimate union with the divine. The story begins with a divine intent, an act of cosmic love that beckons the soul to descend into matter, to embody divine qualities in human form, and to seek the awakening of its highest self. As the records reveal, this choice is made with full awareness of the spiritual lessons at hand, the karmic debts to be cleared, and the divine light to be rekindled within. In the grand tapestry of the universe, the prelude of the soul's journey is a testament to divine sovereignty and free will working in harmony. It is a sacred moment, hidden from the eyes of the material world, yet engraved in the eternal memory of the universe. The soul's decision to incarnate is not a mere event, but a profound affirmation of its eternal quest, to evolve, to serve, and to ultimately realize its union with the divine Christ consciousness. Thus, as we delve into these sacred revelations, we come to understand that every soul's journey begins long before the first breath, within the silent halls of the Akashic records, a divine choice rooted in purpose, love, and the eternal pursuit of higher consciousness. And in this understanding, we find the deeper meaning of our own existence, an invitation to remember that we are all divine travelers, here to fulfill a sacred destiny written in the stars. In the silent corridors of the Akashic records, where the eternal scrolls of the soul's history are etched in divine light, there resides a profound truth, one often veiled from the conscious mind. It is here, in these sacred depths, that the soul's intentions are inscribed before each incarnation, weaving a tapestry of purpose, lessons, and divine love. Yet within this sacred narrative there exists a quiet, often misunderstood phenomenon, the soul's resistance to embodiment, a hesitation born of spiritual tension and karmic imbalance. The readings of CAYCE reveal that not every soul steps eagerly into the physical realm. Some, instead, pause in the threshold, contemplating the journey ahead with a mixture of longing and trepidation. To understand this refusal, we must delve into the intricacies of the spiritual tension that arises when the soul perceives an imbalance between its divine aspirations and the karmic burdens it carries. As the soul prepares for incarnation, it carries within it the echoes of past lives, the unresolved debts, the unfulfilled lessons, and the echoes of choices made in ignorance or haste. These karmic imprints, stored in the universal records, influence the soul's readiness and willingness to descend into physical matter. When these imbalances are significant, the soul perceives the upcoming incarnation as a daunting trial, a test of endurance that may threaten its pursuit of spiritual harmony. In CAYCE's teachings, it is revealed that the soul's desire for harmony and unity with the divine is paramount. The soul seeks to evolve, a journey toward the consciousness of Christ where love, compassion, and understanding reign supreme. When the karmic debts are too heavy, or when the soul perceives that the physical environment may hinder its spiritual progress, hesitation manifests. It is a conscious act, in a sense, an internal dialogue where the soul weighs the costs and benefits of physical embodiment. This resistance is not born of fear alone. Rather, it is rooted in an awareness of the potential for spiritual dissonance when the physical life's temptations, distractions, and suffering threaten to pull the soul away from its divine purpose. The soul, in its wisdom, recognizes that the physical realm is a realm of duality, light and shadow coexisting in intricate balance. When karmic imbalances tilt this scale, the soul may choose to delay or refuse incarnation to seek inner healing and alignment. In many readings, CAYCE describes souls who have experienced profound trauma or imbalance, and upon reviewing their records reveal that the reluctance to incarnate was a means to seek resolution. The soul understands that the journey into physicality is a crucible, a place of purification if approached with consciousness. But if the soul perceives that the karmic lessons are too intense, or that past mistakes have not been fully reconciled, it may choose to linger in the higher realms, seeking the harmony necessary to undertake the next phase. This spiritual tension becomes a vital part of the soul's evolution. It is, in essence, a reflection of the divine principle that the soul seeks balance between love and fear, action and reflection, karma and grace. CAYCE's revelations emphasize that the refusal is not a rejection of life, but an act of divine discernment, a recognition that the soul's readiness must align with its highest aspirations. The soul's resistance also illuminates the profound importance of spiritual preparation. When the soul perceives that its karmic debts are too great, it may delay incarnation, engaging in inner work, soul-searching, and the cultivation of spiritual virtues. This pause offers an opportunity for healing, an alignment of the karmic scales, so that when the soul finally chooses to descend, it does so with greater clarity and purpose. In this understanding, we see that the reluctance to incarnate is a sacred act, one that underscores the divine intelligence guiding each soul's journey. It is a reminder that the pursuit of spiritual harmony surpasses the allure of physicality, that the soul's true home is in the realm of divine love and consciousness. The physical form is but a vessel, a temporary home for the divine spark, yet when the vessel's karmic burdens threaten to obscure that spark, the soul may choose to wait, to seek balance before re-engaging with the material world. From the perspective of the Akashic records, it is written that the soul's hesitations are not signs of weakness but expressions of profound spiritual discernment. They reveal a deep awareness that the journey toward Christ consciousness requires a clear, unencumbered mind and heart. CAYCE's insights show that the soul's desire for harmony often manifests as a reluctance rooted in karmic imbalances, an internal dialogue that ultimately serves the divine plan. Thus, dear seeker, when contemplating this sacred truth, remember that the soul's refusal to incarnate is ultimately an act of divine love, an intention to prepare more fully, to heal past wounds, and to approach the next incarnation with greater wisdom and grace. The universe conspires to guide each soul toward its highest good, and in that sacred journey, resistance becomes a vital part of the divine choreography, an invitation to inner reflection, healing, and spiritual growth. In the end, the soul's hesitation is not an end, but a sacred pause, a moment in the eternal dance where the divine whispers, "Come, align your heart with love and then step forth into the light of your divine purpose." For the soul, seeking harmony above all else, recognizes that true progress is rooted in balance between the spiritual and the material, between love and karma, and that sometimes the greatest act of faith is to wait patiently in the silence until the soul is ready to fully embrace its divine destiny. In the silent chambers of the soul's eternal library, the records of every incarnation, every choice, every deed, every thought, are inscribed with divine precision. The readings reveal that the hesitation observed before a soul's descent into physical form is not merely a moment of doubt, but a sacred pause, a deliberate act of divine discernment rooted in the intricate web of karma. As we continue our journey into these mysteries, it becomes essential to understand the profound role that karma plays, a cosmic balancing act that guides the soul's evolution through countless lifetimes. Karma, as the records Akashicos reveal, is not punishment, but a divine mechanism of harmony. It is the system through which the soul seeks to restore balance, heal past wounds, and learn the lessons it has yet to master. Each life is a unique opportunity for growth, but it is also a reflection of the accumulations from previous existences. Unresolved karma from past lives often manifests as obstacles, fears, or delays, particularly in the soul's decision to incarnate. The soul, in its infinite wisdom, perceives these unresolved debts and recognizes the necessity of addressing them before fully engaging anew in the physical realm. The reluctance to incarnate, therefore, is rooted in a deep awareness of these karmic imbalances. It is an act of divine compassion, a moment to prepare, to heal, and to align more fully with the divine purpose. As the readings reveal, the soul does not refuse incarnation out of fear or defiance, but out of a recognition that certain karmic energies must be resolved in the spiritual realm before they manifest materially. This pause allows the soul to review its past actions, to seek forgiveness, and to deepen its understanding of cause and effect. It is a sacred time of preparation, a bridge between the lessons already learned and those yet to come. In the context of Atlantis, an ancient civilization steeped in spiritual wisdom, the Records show that many souls faced karmic repercussions from their actions during those times. The hubris and misuse of power in Atlantis created imbalances that echoed into subsequent incarnations. The soul, burdened by these unresolved energies, often hesitated to re-enter the cycle of birth until it had achieved a measure of inner healing. The Atlantean era, as the records reveal, was a pivotal chapter in the soul's journey, a time when karma demanded rectification and the soul's reluctance was an expression of its desire to align with the higher laws of divine justice. Furthermore, the concept of future lessons must be woven into this understanding. The soul's hesitance is sometimes driven by a recognition that the upcoming incarnation will serve as a vital chapter in its ongoing evolution. The records emphasize that each lifetime offers a set of lessons tailored to the soul's current stage of development. When unresolved karma from previous lives is present, the soul may choose to delay its descent until it perceives that it is adequately prepared to face those challenges. This delay is not a sign of weakness, but a reflection of the soul's profound commitment to growth and balance. The divine intelligence within recognizes the importance of this process. It is a gentle but firm guide that ensures the soul does not rush into incarnation without the necessary internal harmony. When the soul finally chooses to incarnate, it does so with a clearer purpose, equipped with a deeper understanding of its karmic lessons. The soul seeks to resolve the debts of its past and to plant the seeds for future progress. Each incarnation a step in the divine dance of cause and effect. In the grand design of the universe, every delay, every hesitation, and every unresolved karma serve a higher purpose. They are the necessary alchemy that transforms chaos into harmony. The soul's journey through reincarnation is not linear but cyclical, each life building upon the lessons of the last, each delay a moment of spiritual maturation. As the records reveal, the soul is always seeking balance. It is driven by an intrinsic desire to evolve into a higher state of consciousness, ultimately aligning with the divine essence, the Christ consciousness that exists within all. This divine principle of karma underscores the importance of patience and inner reflection. When a soul hesitates before incarnation, it is not a sign of failure, but an indication of its sacred commitment to growth. Every unresolved debt must be addressed, every lesson learned and every imbalance healed before the soul can move forward with clarity and purpose. This process ensures that each incarnation is meaningful, an opportunity for the soul to advance along the spiritual ladder, guided by divine law and love. The records also reveal that through conscious awareness and spiritual practice, the soul can accelerate its healing process. Prayer, meditation, and sincere introspection serve as tools to clear karmic blockages. They help the soul recognize the patterns it has created and empower it to make different choices in future lives. In essence, the soul's journey is a continuous cycle of learning, healing, and transcending, all orchestrated by the divine principle of karma. As we contemplate these truths, let us remember that the universe is a reflection of divine order, each soul a vital part of the cosmic symphony. The hesitation we observe is not a flaw, but a sacred rhythm, a pause in the divine dance that allows for reflection, healing, and preparation. The soul, in its infinite wisdom, seeks always to align with the divine. When it chooses to incarnate, it does so with a renewed sense of purpose, carrying the lessons of past lives, eager to weave new threads into the tapestry of its spiritual evolution. In the end, the records reveal that the soul's journey is a testament to divine mercy and justice, a testament to the infinite love that guides all of creation. Through understanding the role of karma, we come to see that every delay, every hesitation is an act of divine grace, an invitation to heal, to grow, and to unify more deeply with the divine consciousness that underpins all existence. And in that sacred unity, the soul finds its true home. In the vast eternal tapestry of existence, the soul's journey is woven with threads of divine purpose and sacred lessons. As we continue to peer into the depths of spiritual mysteries, the next revelation emerges from the hidden vaults of the Akashic records, the cosmic library where every soul's history, intentions, and lessons are inscribed with divine precision. These records, in their silent depths, contain the clues to why certain souls hesitate before incarnation and why they sometimes refuse to descend into the material realm until the conditions are ripe for their rebirth. It is within this sacred archive that the answers lie, waiting for the seeker with eyes attuned to divine truth. The Akashic records, an energetic web of universal consciousness, are the divine memory of all that has ever been, is, and will be. Unlike the fleeting nature of physical memory, these records are a living, breathing reflection of the divine plan, encoded in the pure frequencies of universal energy. As the spiritual archaeologist, I see them as a luminous manuscript, inscribed with the purpose of each soul, the lessons it must learn, and the karmic threads it must weave or unravel across many incarnations. The readings reveal that every soul that hesitates before reincarnation does so because it is seeking alignment, an inner harmony with the divine will. Such reluctance is not born of fear or weakness, but of a sacred discernment. The soul, in its divine wisdom, recognizes that it must first undergo internal healing and realignment with its higher purpose before stepping once more into the physical realm. It is as if the soul is consulting the divine archives, searching for clues and guidance on how best to serve its highest good. This pause, this hesitation, is an act of divine mercy, a moment granted for the soul to prepare itself for the profound transformation that awaits. The records reveal that in many cases, the soul's reluctance is rooted in the need to resolve unresolved karma, those debts of the spirit accumulated in past lives. Before incarnating again, the soul seeks to clear these energetic imbalances, not out of punishment, but out of divine necessity. These unresolved issues act as spiritual weights, preventing the soul from fully ascending into consciousness of its divine unity. The records show that the soul's refusal is a conscious act, an intentional pause, to ensure that it enters a new incarnation with a cleaner slate, a higher vibrational readiness, and a clearer understanding of its divine mission. Furthermore, the Akashic records highlight that such reluctance often signals a deeper yearning for spiritual growth, an awakening that cannot be rushed. The soul senses that it must attain a higher state of consciousness, what many traditions call the Christ consciousness, before it can truly serve in its divine role. This is where divine patience becomes vital. The soul's journey through multiple lifetimes is a sacred dance, and the records reveal that the delays are guided by divine timing, ensuring that the soul's evolution unfolds in harmony with the universe's grand design. In the sacred space of the records, the soul is shown a mirror of its past, a reflection of its current spiritual state, and a vision of its future potential. It is within this mirror that the soul's reluctance is understood, not as resistance, but as a necessary recalibration. The records whisper that the soul's refusal to incarnate is often a conscious choice to deepen its preparation, an act of divine wisdom echoing through eternity, so that it may return with greater clarity, compassion, and purpose. The importance of understanding this process lies in recognizing that the soul is eternally guided by divine love. It seeks not to delay out of fear, but to embody a higher form of consciousness, one rooted in the awareness of its divine origin and divine destiny. The records reveal that the soul's journey is not linear but multidimensional, spanning across countless realms of experience. When the soul pauses, it is aligning itself with these higher dimensions, integrating lessons from the past and preparing to serve with a renewed sense of divine unity. In this sacred context, the records also illuminate the role of Atlantis and other ancient civilizations as echoes in the soul's memory, reminding us that many souls carry the remnants of those lost worlds within their energetic fields. The records show that some souls hesitate because they carry unhealed wounds from those times, wounds that need to be acknowledged and transmuted before they can fully embody the Christ consciousness. This is why the soul's reluctance is often a profound act of self-preservation, a reflection of its sacred duty to heal and elevate itself before re-entering the material plane. As we peer deeper into these divine records, we come to understand that each soul's hesitations and refusals are intricately woven into the divine fabric of the universe. They reveal the sacred truth that the soul's ultimate goal is unity with divine consciousness, a state of pure awareness where dualities dissolve and the divine light shines unimpeded. The records teach us that patience, self-awareness, and trust in divine timing are essential virtues for the traveler on this sacred path. In closing, the Akashic records serve as a divine compass, holding the messages and lessons that the soul needs to hear. They whisper that the reluctance to reincarnate is not an act of defiance, but a sacred prayer, a plea for divine guidance, healing, and preparation. The soul's quest for balance and higher consciousness is etched into these sacred texts, revealing that every hesitation is part of a divine choreography designed to bring forth a higher self. Thus, the next step in our spiritual journey is to listen deeply to these hidden messages, to understand that the soul's delays are sacred pauses, opportunities for divine realignment and growth. For in the divine archives, the truth is written with eternal clarity. The soul seeks only to serve in perfect harmony with the divine plan, and every hesitation is a sign of its sacred devotion to becoming one with the divine consciousness that animates all of creation. In the silent depths of the soul's eternal journey, there lies a sacred truth that the records Akashic reveal only to those willing to listen with open hearts. As we have seen in the previous passage, the hesitation of the soul before incarnation is not a sign of doubt or fear, but a testament to divine discernment, a moment where the soul pauses, reflecting upon its past lessons, its karmic imprints, and its divine purpose. Yet this moment of hesitation is not meant to be a shadow that persists indefinitely. It is, rather, a divine invitation for reconciliation, a sacred call that beckons the soul to recognize its own divine origin and to prepare for the rebirth that inevitably follows. The records disclose that at the heart of every soul's hesitation is the longing for understanding, the desire to comprehend the sacred reasons behind its earthly sojourns. In those moments of pause, the soul seeks to balance the karmic debts accumulated across lifetimes, to shed the veils of illusion, and to realign with the Christ consciousness, the divine spark within that unites all creations in love and unity. It is the divine mercy in action, an opportunity for the soul to resolve conflicts, forgive itself and others, and to rekindle the flame of divine purpose that has been dimmed by the burdens of material attachments and spiritual forgetfulness. As the soul finally reaches a point of reconciliation, an inner harmony achieved through divine grace, it begins to accept the inevitable cycle of rebirth. This acceptance is not a resignation but a conscious surrender to the divine will, rooted in trust that every incarnation is a sacred step toward the ultimate reunion with the divine. The Atlantean echoes resonate in the records, whispering that the period of spiritual darkness and chaos served a purpose, that the fall of Atlantis, with its hubris and material pursuits, was a necessary phase for the awakening of the soul's true potential. From those depths, the soul learned humility, compassion, and the importance of aligning with the divine plan. In this divine reconciliation, the soul recognizes that its journey is a sacred dance, an unfolding of divine love through the veils of illusion, through the cycles of karma and reincarnation. The soul's willingness to accept its journey signifies an awakening of the Christ consciousness within, a recognition that divine love is the path back to unity. It is the soul's conscious choice to embody the higher virtues, patience, humility, forgiveness, and love, in each new incarnation, trusting that these virtues serve as the bridge back to divine union. The records reveal that this reconciliation is an act of divine grace, a sacred turning point, where the soul ceases to see itself as separate from the divine and instead recognizes its inherent divine nature. This realization ignites the remembrance of its divine purpose, a purpose rooted in service, compassion, and the pursuit of spiritual mastery. As the soul embraces its divine origin, it begins to see its earthly experiences not as burdens, but as opportunities for growth and refinement, essential steps in the journey toward the full realization of the Christ within. In this sacred acceptance, the soul's karmic debts are not merely paid, but transformed into lessons of love and humility. The soul understands that karma is not punishment, but a divine mechanism for correction and growth, a tool that guides the soul toward balance and harmony. Through this process, the soul's consciousness expands, awakening to the realization that every challenge, every pain, and every joy is woven into the divine tapestry of its evolution. The reincarnation cycle, as revealed in the records, is ultimately a divine gift, a sacred opportunity for the soul to embody its destined purpose in unity with the Christ consciousness. The soul, now reconciled with its divine essence, eagerly prepares for its next earthly sojourn, knowing that each life is an opportunity to serve, to love more deeply, and to remember its divine origin. It is a journey of awakening, where the soul's purpose is to bring forth the divine light into the world, illuminating the path for others to follow. And so, in the quiet moments of divine grace, the soul makes its sacred vow, an internal promise to continue the pursuit of spiritual mastery, to seek the Christ within in every breath, and to trust the divine plan that guides its every step. As the records reveal, this acceptance transforms the soul's hesitation into a sacred reconciliation, an act of divine harmony that prepares it for rebirth. Rebirth that is not an end, but a new beginning rooted in divine love. In this sacred dance of the soul's journey, we come to understand that the ultimate destination is not a place, but a state of consciousness, a consciousness rooted in the awareness of divine unity. The soul's journey through incarnation is a sacred pilgrimage toward this divine awareness, culminating in the realization that it has always been one with the Christ consciousness, the eternal flame that sustains all creation. And in this realization, the soul finds its true home, where the divine and the earthly are forever united in love, peace, and eternal light. Within the silent depths of the Akashic records, we discover that every hesitation, every pause before incarnation, is a sacred act rooted in divine love and divine wisdom, an opportunity for the soul to realign, heal, and deepen its connection with the Christ consciousness. It is a testament to the soul's unwavering pursuit of balance and higher purpose, reminding us that delays are not signs of failure, but sacred moments of preparation. As we awaken to this profound truth, let us remember that our journey is ongoing, an infinite dance of growth, forgiveness, and divine union. I invite you now to reflect on these sacred mysteries, share your insights in the comments, subscribe for more divine revelations, and share this message with others on their own spiritual voyage. Together, we can illumine the path toward higher consciousness and divine love.